Cruisers, welcome to another video from Cruise with Ben and David.
We put together 10 top tips of how you should book a cruise and how we can help you save some of that precious money of yours.
Yes, so whether you're looking at booking your first cruise or you've cruised before and you're wanting to save some more cash, stick with us because we've got 10 fantastic tips coming up.
So tip number one would be to check what's included in the price of your cruise. This means you can actually end up paying more, but it actually includes more in the long run. So you could end up booking a cruise that's all inclusive. That includes all of your drinks, gratuities, all of the little extras that you would normally have to pay for. And the upfront cost would be a little bit more than paying for a cheaper cruise. Say a cruise that's half the price, but doesn't include your drinks, doesn't include your gratuities. But by the time you've finished your cruise, it's going to end up being a lot more expensive. So we do recommend you always check exactly what is included in the cost of your cruise when booking.
Yeah, so a big tip is to work out what you're going to be wanting from your cruise, add all of it in, and see how much it's going to be, and then compare this to other options such as all-inclusive cruises or luxury cruises, because these offer extras such as your onboard drinks, shore excursions some luxury cruise lines offer, so it might actually be better to pay more up front and then get more in the long run.
Absolutely, and we say when you're coming up with the initial budget, make sure that you include all of these little extras into the price. Things like transfers, flights, travel, shore excursions, dining, extra drinks if you want them on board. Make sure you put all of them into your original budget, otherwise your costs could spiral out of control and we don't want that.
And on the flip side of that, if your cruise includes a drinks package, but you're not a drinker, you could be paying for something that you don't need.
Absolutely.
So just make sure that everything that's included in your cruise, you're actually going to be using and you actually do want. So tip number 2 is when you're booking your cruise, think about how you're going to get to the port of embarkation and disembarkation, because this can be a big chunk of money, particularly if you have to fly to a port. So don't be taken in by a $300 cruise, but it's from Miami and you live in Cambridge. It's going to be a big flight there and back.
Also, you have to think about pre-stay accommodation as well. If the port is really far away from you, you definitely, and we recommend getting there the day before just to make sure you don't miss your cruise, fingers crossed. But yeah, things like that can cost money as well.
When booking your cruise, look out for any fly cruise packages or cruise lines that are offering free flights to your cruise port. But work out, is this the best deal?
Exactly. We'll also go onto a third-party flying site to have a look how much the flights are, and then add that up into the no-fly package, and then add it up compared to the fly package and seeing which one's cheaper. It always works really well, because sometimes cruise lines can add on a big amount of money on for a flight that doesn't cost very much money in the first place.
Exactly.
So you could end up paying a lot more by booking a fly cruise.
And you might be thinking it's cheaper to go to your to only cruise from your nearest port, but it might not actually be, because some bigger ports have a lot more cruise ships visiting them, so pricing is a lot more competitive. So for example, cruises from Miami and Barcelona
and Rome,
you're going to see a lot more options and a lot more options on price. So it may be economical to fly to Rome or to fly to Barcelona than say cruising from our cruise nearest port, which is Southampton.
And number 4, the time that you book is also really crucial in saving money as well. We recommend usually the traditional time to book the best cruises during the wave season, which is from January to March.
Yeah, this is where you'll see the best offers and the biggest discounts by the cruise lines, and they're all trying to lure you into booking your cruise just after the Christmas holidays, and you want your sandy beach. And
it's the most depressing time of the year when the weather's miserable and horrible, and you just want to get away on a beautiful cruise. So the cruise lines will usually give out their big offers. But as we said in our first tip, don't be lured in by the low prices. Make sure you check exactly what's included in the price of that cruise.
But booking outside of wave season, a cruise can be booked from 18 months, years in advance, up to 1 week before. So booking early, you're going to have the most choice, because you can then choose the cabin you want, the destination you want.
And you will get some of the best prices as well.
Yeah, and they sometimes offer early booking discounts or early booking offers such as onboard credit. But then likewise, booking late, you can book up to 1 week before on most cruise lines. While you have less choice and less flexibility, you can see great discounts, yeah. Also, cruises are just like hotels and airlines that yield their pricing, and they do have peak seasons. So cruising during the summer holidays, you're probably not going to see any offers and prices will be higher, but cruising out of season, you'll see bigger discounts and more offers. Okay, Ben, I want to go on a cruise. Which cruise ship shall I go on? When, where, and how much is it?
Well, that's the million-dollar question, isn't it? You've got to take a few things into consideration when it comes to picking a cruise line. The most important thing for us is price and the experience that we're going to have on board that cruise ship. So the entertainment offer, the type of dining, the type of cabin, what the ship looks like, and the size of the ship. All of these things are really important to us. And there is such a massive array of different cruise lines and ships that there really is something to suit everybody. So we recommend that you really research a ship that you're wanting to go on to.
Yeah, think about who do you want to be cruising with. Do you want a British experience on board or a more multicultural experience, or do you want something, you know, with an Italian flair such
Absolutely.
as MSC?
So you've got all of the big American cruise liners like NCL, Royal, Disney, Carnival and Princess, which give you a very American experience. And then with MSC, like you said, you've got the Italian Mediterranean experience. If you're in the UK, we've got cruise lines such as Cunard, P&O and Marella cruise lines, which offer a very British style holiday. Same for Germany as well with AIDA and Costa Cruises, a very German. Costa Cruises, that's Italian. Same with AIDA, which is a very, or TUI, which is a very German sort of holiday. So there is really something that's going to suit everybody. There's different sizes of ships. The newer and more modern ships tend to be a lot more suitable for children and families because they've got some amazing facilities on board, whilst the older and smaller ships usually have a slow way of life and are very relaxing, a little bit more traditional maybe.
And then you've got to think about when and where you want to cruise. So where you want to cruise may be restricted by season. So obviously Alaska, you can only cruise at certain times of year. And during the summer in the Mediterranean, you're going to get a lot more options because you can have a lot more cruise lines in the region. And also when you want to cruise. If you're restricted by school holidays, you obviously can only cruise during the school holidays and you're going to pay a lot more. But if you're a lot more flexible, you can cruise out of season or in the quiet season as well. So you have to take all these things into consideration to then whittle down to which cruise line is the ship for you. But we always say, picking the best cruise line that is going to suit you is most important.
Absolutely. And make sure you take a look at our ultimate guides as well, which we've got here on YouTube of Royal Caribbean, Norwegian, just to name a few, which give you a big old lowdown of exactly what to expect on that specific cruise line.
And as Ben said, if in doubt, research.
So the next tip would be coming to choosing a cabin. Obviously, if you book an inside cabin or a guaranteed cabin, it's going to be much cheaper than booking, say, an ocean view, balcony or suite cabin. So that really impacts the price of your cruise.
Yeah, you may be into thinking, particularly if you've not been on a ship before, that, do you know what, balcony, I want the balcony cabin and the best cabin. But you have to think about what type of cruiser you are. Are you going to be in your cabin a lot, enjoying the balcony, or are you going to be out and about? And where you're going, if it's a cold cruise, you probably won't enjoy that balcony as much. So you're probably going to be spending a lot of money for little use.
So yeah, when it comes to booking a cabin, it will certainly be the biggest price factor involved whilst booking a cruise.
So our next tip is don't forget travel insurance. And you need to have travel insurance when you book the cruise so that you'll be covered by the cancellation policy, just in case you do need to cancel for some reason.
Yeah, whilst these ships all do have medical facilities on board, and amazing medical facilities that they are.
We've tried them out.
Oh my God, they will be so expensive. Trust me, guys. Seriously, just for a blood test and some paracetamol, you would pay $600 onwards. So make sure you are covered. It is so vital. And make sure you bring your own medications with you as well. So things like paracetamol, pain relief, diarrhea, constipation, all of that stuff, seasickness, bring it all just in case, because you don't want to pay the prices on board the ship.
The cruise line will probably offer you travel insurance when you book, but we always advise to shop around first and do your own travel insurance on the side, and make sure that it does include cruise cover as well.
So our next tip is how to save some money when it comes to booking a cruise. Well, some of the things you could do, you could sign up for email alerts from the cruise line, so you'll get emails every time that they have a sale coming on.
Yeah, or even from your local travel agency, and some even do text alerts. We get text every time there's a fantastic cruise offer, and we're always tempted, aren't we?
Yeah, and once you get hooked to cruising as well, you'll do what we do and check all of the cruise lines every single week just to see if there's any good bargains coming up as well. So just keep a good eye on all of the different cruise lines, because they do offer different deals at different times of the year.
And if you see a deal on your cruise or a price drop on your cruise, contact the cruise line or contact the travel agent. They may be able to get you the lower price, or they may be able to offer you something in exchange on board credit. Just ask. That's what we always say.
The worst they can do is say no.
So the next tip is look out for a refer a friend offer.
What is refer a friend, David?
Well, refer a friend is if you have been on a cruise with a cruise line, you can then invite your friend to come on the cruise with you. Princess Cruises do this. I know Royal Caribbean do this as well. You may get a small gesture like a $25 onboard credit, or you may get a future cruise credit on your next cruise. But you know, it's a little bit of something, isn't it?
Yeah, definitely. So our final tip would be to book on board the cruise. I know this sounds a bit crazy because you're already on a cruise, but all the ships that we've been on have an onboard booking shop.
Yes.
So book it on board, and you can also keep all of your normal travel agent perks if you usually book through a travel agency.
Yeah, so once you're home, after you've made your booking for your next cruise on board the ship, just let them know that you have a travel agency and they will transfer the booking. So it means that you can keep, as you said, your travel agent benefits and the onboard credits that you've got. You can also get onboard reservations. So this is where you don't actually choose the date of your cruise.
Yeah, say you'll put 3 deposits down for 2019, and you don't have to pick a cruise there and then whilst you're on the cruise. You're just putting the deposits to secure that place.
Yes, and other discounts include onboard credit, lower deposits, and more flexible with moving dates around.
Yeah,
things
certain
like
percentage off the cruise as well. You can get some really good deals. But once again, we do recommend getting a quote whilst on the cruise. Then when you're at your next port, check online just to double check you're not getting ripped off, because you always want to get the definite best price. So we do recommend checking different sources, travel agents, on board and direct, and just coming up with the best price possible, because that's going to save you the most money in the long run.
I hope you enjoyed our tips about booking your next cruise. I think the biggest tip out of all of this is just to research, compare, and make sure that you're getting the best deal and the best value for you.
Absolutely, there's no right and wrong when it comes to booking direct or with a travel agent. The most important thing is that you get value for money. Make sure you subscribe to us right now and press that bell button so you get notified of when we upload our new videos.
You can also find us on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram, where you can get in touch and follow our adventures around the world.
So that's it till next time. Happy cruising!